Get ready.
Hello and welcome to this week's Battle of the Ports, and a game that started life on the Commodore 64. This is Bombuzal, sometimes known as Kablooey. The game was first released on the C64 in 1988, and came from Anthony Crowther and Dave Bishop. The game is a simple but addictive action puzzle title, in which you need to destroy all bombs on a level before moving on to the next. Bombs come in different sizes, and it's only possible to ignite the smallest kind without dying. In most cases, the bombs must be set off using a chain reaction to prevent the avatar from being killed in the explosion. On other occasions, separate small bombs can be destroyed one at a time. Each bomb has a reaction zone. For example, a small bomb will only destroy the tile it is on, but will affect any of the bombs one tile away in the four main directions. A large bomb will destroy many other tiles. There are also two enemies, Sinster and Dexter, appearing on some levels. These continuously travel along the level. Sinster always turns to the left and Dexter will always turn to the right. Neither Sinster or Dexter actively pursue the avatar, but contact with either is fatal. Control-wise, the game is very tricky in 3D mode, which you've been seeing up until now. However, if you twist your controller around to an angle, it becomes much easier. If that's not to your liking though, there is also a 2D overhead mode, which doesn't look as good but still entertaining.
Get ready.
Also in 1988 we got two 16-bit ports to the Amiga and Atari ST. Let's start with the Amiga version, which for some reason doesn't work well via emulation. The audio is all messed up, meaning the sound effects or speech don't always play. There's also no music during gameplay, mind you, even when you're playing on real hardware. This version loses a bit of the charm the C64 original had, but it plays well enough and, of course, includes the 2D mode. Next is the Atari ST version, which is 100% identical to the Amiga, apart from the audio being a little rougher. Or if you're playing both via emulation, it may be the better choice, as this version has no issues when being emulated. A year later, in 1989, PC owners could enjoy a version of Bombuzal via MS-DOS. Well, I say enjoy, but we do have to admit it is inferior to the Amiga and ST versions. It kinda looks the same, but a bit rougher. The game flips screens rather than scrolling, and the audio is all from the internal speaker, so no speech here. It's not a complete disaster, but that screen flipping can put you off. In 1990, Kotobuki Systems, better known as Kemco, developed and brought Bombuzal to the Super Famicom. But did you know that the Japanese version was meant to have an impossible to complete stage? Level 80 of the game was actually made to be impossible to clear. This was because there was a campaign at the time in which players could win a prize if they found an impossible level amongst the levels 1 to 100. And wrote it down on a postcard and submitted it to Kemco. However, on stage 80, using remote bombs, dissolver tiles and countdowns, the player would be caught in the blast, but somehow still clears the level, effectively rendering the campaign ineffective. Nice one, Kemco. Do note that the level layout was changed in the North American version, and it is possible to clear level 80 normally. As for how this version plays, well, it's probably the most responsive, and it may just be the best sounding and looking as well. Although saying that, this does look very similar to the 16-bit home computer versions. And let's take a look at all those versions of Bombuzal running side by side.
Ready.